Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome to another episode of the Musing with Menchaca Show, episode 40.
Right.
The big 4-0.
All right.
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah.
Whoa. All right.
This is the conversational podcast where two brothers gather around these microphones. Each, well, actually, no, it's a new format. I can't even say the intro anymore. Each with their own random topics. No, this is just an interview. This is just a fireside chat where we just gonna like
Fireside.
I'm just gonna put like a little fireplace right here between us.
Should.
And then in the editing, and then we're just gonna I'm just gonna have a conversation. I just want to get to know you. I want to have an interview with you. This is my brother, the soldier of Fortune, Juan Menchaca.
Are you gonna make me cry?
Yes, I actually have a box of Kleenex. No, I'm kidding. That's the plan, is to invest in a box of Kleenex. Nice. So whenever I ask those hard hitting questions that I can just like, and then if I'm really good at my job, I'm gonna have to buy a handkerchief. So that way, when they, it's like you can't even do that disposable shit. No, fuck that.
Man.
You pull a handkerchief out to show that you're a boss.
Okay. I just want to let you know that the only movie that made me cry was The Land Before Time.
Damn. Yeah, whenever the parents died.
When the mom died.
Yeah.
Littlefoot.
Littlefoot, yeah.
Mom died.
And then they had to ruin them with all them sequels, too.
Yeah. That didn't make me cry at all. Actually kind of laughing. All right.
So, the Soldier of Fortune, Juan Menchaca, and you can follow me on Twitter at Chakalaka88, as well as PSN, Nintendo Network, XBL, Twitch, all Chakalaka88, all across the board. Easy to remember. And so if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, share us with your friends, and subscribe for more content, because I'm going to have more guests on. Hell yeah. So let's go ahead and get things started. So Juan, I know we were talking a little bit off camera. You're not a big fan of the format, I understand.
No, I'm not. No.
I know.
At the interview, it's just like, it's too much like a window of my soul type of deal. It's like too much.
So is the story of your life classified?
Very much so, yes. Very much. I have to like take like 10 chapters out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you're like 65 years old, 70, can you write a tell-all book and just like let it all out and just...
Of all the stuff that ever happened to me, yeah. Probably.
Shit will go down. Like senior citizens will just like shit their pants in their Depends because they read the book and realize, fuck, that got out there, man.
I just say I was really close to starting war. For real.
World War III. Wake up, kid. It's World War III. All right, so I guess that's the first. That's when we were in the pre-planning stages of doing this and stuff. We were like, how do we start this? So that's a good place to start. That's a good jumping off point. Juan, how do you start a conversation with someone?
To be honest with you, like, are you talking about like a total stranger or with anybody or that I know?
Let's do both. How do you start a conversation with somebody, or do you like? I feel like with you, like it's like you go to sports a lot.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so it's like outside my realm, but like
no, if I know somebody like that I just met, if I know somebody just met and I just start talking to them, I do start off by introducing myself and saying hi, how are you doing? I'll be polite, and ask them about them.
Yes, because people like to talk about themselves.
I don't really talk about myself as much. I like to ask them how they, what are they.
So can I pretend to be you right now? Can you like? Can I just? This is my impersonation of Juan right here.
Oh shit!
All right. So what's going on, man? Tell me about you. What's new, man? Talk to me, man. You don't talk to me, man.
I don't know. I'm 18 years old. My name is Darren.
You're stupid, man.
There's not much to say about me. I just went to school,
Yeah, you're stupid.
I'll dig deep though.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, well, what do you like to do? Who's your favorite team? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
How did it feel when the playoffs happened and they lost in round one?
I was pretty
round two, technically, actually.
I was pretty confident they were going to win the first round, but they disappointed me there. And to be honest with you, I thought they would get to the to the championship round and maybe possibly lose there, but I thought they would have had a good chance,
Mm-hmm.
But my expectations weren't Super Bowl or bust.
My expectations were Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah, no, and a lot of people too. But I have realistic, very realistic expectations for them. I believe that next year they have the real strong possibility of actually making it to the Super Bowl. This year, I was just happy they made it to the playoffs. Make it to maybe the championship. My expectations were they make it to the championship, and that was about it. That was about it.
I mean, for me, like the unexpected, or unrealistic expectations happened for me whenever they showed like for the past 3 years the number one seeds make it to the Super Bowl. I was like, okay, well, fuck, this is gonna be a fourth year. We're gonna make it happen. And so since the Cowboys are like number one seed, and not to mention everybody was on that Dak Prescott train, and it just kind of felt like the stars were aligning, and they're going to the Super Bowl and stuff like that. So that for me, it was Super Bowl or bust. But yeah,
you could definitely see that. But again, I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. They had a lot of rookies. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. So no rookie quarterback has ever gotten a team to a Super Bowl. So that's history. Yeah, they could be first, but that was unrealistic. To think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hopefully, with all their years, they're young. They have everyone's talking that Elliott and Prescott are the new Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman. So yeah.
Most definitely, yeah.
All right. So let's see. Let's shift the gears over to me. I want to talk about me.
Let's talk
in
about
relation to you.
All right.
So what is your first memory of me?
Oh shit. Okay. So I knew my mom was pregnant. I was 8 years old.
Okay.
And I knew that. I remember going to the hospital. It was at night, and we dropped her off. She said okay, and then I was like, all right. Well, when you come back the next day, you're gonna have a brother, or actually a sister, because you were supposed to be a girl. Which makes sense because you're very girly. All right, so no, just kidding. Just kidding. I remember going to school the next day.
Okay.
And I remember bragging to everybody. It's like, oh, I have a little brother, or I have a little sibling. Because I don't remember saying brother, but I remember saying, oh, we're gonna have a baby, we're gonna have a baby, we're gonna have a baby. And I was like excited, And then when I got home from school, there you were laying down in my mom's bed. It was the bed that I lost my virginity in, So, anyways, yeah, it was the
after 8 years old, right?
No, right after, way after. But it was the same. It was definitely the same bed. So my mom had a king size bed, and
it stayed around in the family a long time. I remember.
Oh, very long. I mean, my mom had that bed forever.
Yeah.
So I remember you were laying on the bed. You were bundled up in a burrito, and I remember seeing you. And I was like, oh, man. And you were a boy. And I was like, man, that's my little brother. And then I remember picking you up. I got some scars to show for you. I was like, man, I was excited,
Mm-hmm.
So I remember seeing your little ass, your little pee-pee. Anyways.
It was big. What are you talking about?
Pretty big, yeah. I was kind of jealous at the time when I was 8. So. Anyways, well, that's a different subject. That's a different subject.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was my first memory. I remember me coming home from school, and you were on my mom's bed, and then, she was just, she had you bundled up in a little burrito, and I remember seeing you, and I was like, wow, that's great, so.
Were you old enough to, pick me up by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I picked you up. I changed your diaper and everything. So.
Okay, all right.
I just want to say you're pretty nasty, so.
Well, as are all babies, I'm sure.
No, you're pretty damn nasty. Even for a baby. No, I'm just playing. Just playing, girls. Just kidding. You're just a normal baby.
No, so when it came to me specifically, did I cry a lot when you picked?
No,
when I, picked
I remember you being actually a pretty good baby. I mean, you got more attached to our cousin, Medium, and but no, you were a very good baby actually. Okay. Very good baby. Surprisingly good.
All right, cool. Let's see. So growing up, what was it like growing up? In general.
For me or for us or what?
For you specifically. Let's make this about you.
We grew up in Northside. I remember hearing drive-bys in the night. I remember growing up in a very dangerous place. I mean, it wasn't a safe place. And in retrospect,
but did you know this at the time?
I did not know this at the time.
Okay.
In retrospect, I actually thought about it. I was like, how crazy was it that my mom let us walk home from school, 7 blocks, walk about a mile to our middle school when it was so dangerous. I mean, people were getting jacked for their starter jackets, and I used to wear a starter jacket. You know, I used to wear Kohans, which were like $100+ shoes, and I was like, and then I remember in the news, like people were getting jacked and shot for their shoes and their jackets, and we were walking home like a mile away, walking to school, back from school.
And this was just you and Carlo together, though, right?
Sometimes we were separate.
Oh, damn. No safety in numbers in that one.
We were separate sometimes. And, I mean, it was just dangerous and crazy. You know, I remember when I was younger, I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, even when I was younger, I remember how crazy it used to be. But, yeah, I'm gonna be honest and say that it wasn't a great time. And me growing up in north side of Fort Worth, I mean, it was just a pretty bad time. I remember kids getting stabbed in school. I mean, that happened while I was in school and I was playing football.
At JP Elder?
At JP Elder. I remember the school getting shot at, you know, like a drive-by shooting at the school while I was there.
What'd they do? Did they have like some kind of like duck and cover?
We had like an alarm go off and we had to stay in our classes and we couldn't move. We had to stay there.
Did they do that thing where they had you like go underneath the seats, like under the like I remember, like in elementary school there was these drills there. Yeah, you had the four-legged desks and you go underneath them.
We didn't have drills. I mean, if it was like a drive-by shooting, they just started the alarm, say, "Hey, just stay where you're at," and we couldn't actually leave our room. We had to stay there and just wait. I mean, in most of the time, to be honest with you, a lot of the times that we had these drills, it was during the testing period. So it was like right before the testing period. So we would have to stay in the period before we go into our testing period, and then we would waste that time and we wouldn't be able to test. So, I mean, it would either bomb us, like a bomb threat or something, and we wouldn't miss our testing period and have to just get an extra day of studying, or whatever the case may be. I mean, it was just crazy. It was a crazy time.
Damn.
And I remember one guy. He went to school, and he got shot in the stomach, and he didn't go to the doctor.
Oh
and
my God.
And he actually showed us like the bullet shot and like the actual hole, and he would like dig in the hole and like grab a piece of meat. And he's like, "Look, I got shot," you know. And he was a gangbanger, you know. And I was like, "What the hell?" I mean, this was a gangbanger. And I was scared of him, but he was really cool with me.
BC for life.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I got shot." And then he'd pull up his shirt, and sure enough, he'd pull like the nasty crap out of a bullet hole. And I was like, "Whoa!" Like, it looked infected. You know, but,
jeez.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of stuff. I also grew up getting messed with, you know, gangbangers, and that was just life back in the day. So
the 80s, man. Cocaine and the roller and drugs.
You're saying 80s, but I was in like 90s. So.
Oh shit, my bad. I got my timeline confused.
Yeah, very confused. This actually happened like early 90s.
So early 90s, that would have pitted you in middle school, right? Daggett and Daggett.
Sure. No, I mean but JP Elder. I mean, I would have been like 12 years old. I was 91, 92. Yeah.
I thought you spent all of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in Daggett. No.
No, just my 8th grade year.
Really? Huh? I guess that was interesting. So, whenever you're talking about the one in Northside, you're talking about that house that has like the driveway on a hill on an incline.
Oh yeah, correct.
That's the one.
2602 Market.
And then, how did that one compare to the one in the duplex? Like, is the duplex safer?
The duplex was, I would say, a little less safer.
What?
2602 Market was a little bit safer.
Jeez, I was in the duplex.
Yeah, exactly. You remember that, right?
I remember the duplex. I don't remember feeling like anything.
Well, first of all, you were in
little
the
as
other.
Fuck.
You were actually in the other one, and I don't know if you remember this, but you were actually like stung by a scorpion in 2602 Market.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
You do remember that?
Yeah, I remember stepping on it too.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought you were gonna die.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember getting stung.
Oh man, you got stung. You were crying. And you were jumping on that scorpion. You killed it. It was crazy.
I just remember killing it. I don't remember getting crying or the stinging or whatever. I just remember just like bam. Because I remember the scorpion because of like a loteria and stuff like that.
You got stung by a scorpion on your leg.
Oh my god!
But you killed it right afterwards. You did.
Yeah.
You killed it by yourself.
Hashtag boss.
Hashtag crying like a baby.
You bitch.
Crying like a baby.
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have been, what, 3?
I was talking about me.
Oh.
I was crying like a baby. I thought you were gonna die.
Oh.
But you know, it's all good.
So I don't know why, but I remember like a mental image of the market. I remember like a mental image of a skeleton. I don't know why, but I don't know where I get that from.
I'm not sure either.
I just have a vague recollection of that. But again, I was super little, so.
Yeah.
But then there was the duplex. I just remember. I remember the Super Nintendo. I feel like this can't be a correct memory. This has to be something that I made up in my mind. But I just have like this false memory of Dad just walking in with the Super Nintendo through the door, and you and Carlo jumping up and down around him as he waltzes in with the Super NES. But that doesn't sound right. That sounds like something that he would have snuck in and secretly wrapped it so you opened it for Christmas, right?
That's weird. We got the Super Nintendo while we lived there.
In the duplex, yeah.
And it was for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably remember that.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
It's true, but yeah, so.
So what Carlo and I did for Christmas one year was
Christmas 91, right?
Christmas in 91 or 92.
Damn.
92. And you might have been like 3 or 4 years old, so I don't know how to remember this. But I mean, you would have been, yeah, like I said, you were 3, maybe 4 years old. And what Carlo and I did was we snuck into my mom and dad's car, and in the trunk we found the Super Nintendo.
Y'all knew y'all were gonna
get
it,
so we knew what we were gonna get. And I remember, I don't know if you remember this picture, but I was holding up a sweater and I was all like bummed out. You're like, like I was all bummed out. My mom has the picture.
It's probably in the old photo albums.
It's an old photo album, and I was like this, and I was like, and my aunt, she gave us these sweaters, and I posed like I was sad, like
So you were faking
I was faking like it was a crappy freaking present, because I knew I was gonna get the Super Nintendo, even though my mom and my dad said, no, we're not gonna get you that. But my brother and I, Carlo, we had already gone and seen the Super Nintendo, and I don't know if you remember, we had the little
the Super Scope. Yeah.
Super Scope.
Yeah.
It was in there too. So we saw the Super Scope and we saw the new Super Nintendo, and we were all excited. We're like, oh hell yeah, that's what we wanted. So we knew we were gonna get that, and that was pretty damn awesome. So when we finally got it and we opened up the presents, we were really excited, and you were there to see it. So
yeah,
maybe that's what you remember.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say
that was at the duplex.
The duplex.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just the Super Scope game as well as Super Mario World, and those are the only 2 games, right? Okay, yeah. So Dad knew to get it because you guys asked for it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that was the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to, because the thing about Dad is somehow, some way he knows about technology. I'm surprisingly, not so much how to use it, but more so that it exists.
Exactly. I don't know. My dad stayed up with the times.
Yeah, he really did. With the DVD player, when it first came out, we still have it. Yeah. Blu-rays, HD
He still has it. No,
VCRs, he still has it. No, he still has the VCR connected to his television in his bedroom. Yeah. So, and actually, my VCR, the one that's connected in my room, actually doesn't work. I tried watching Liar Liar on VHS. And the VCR ate it. It fucked up the tape. It got all fucking the tape got pulled out of the metal strip. Yeah. The metal film thing got pulled out of the thing. I'm like, fuck. Crazy. So I gotta find some kind of boutique antique repair shop or something to get it repaired, because I don't want it to eat up more VHSs, which surprisingly we still have.
We have a shit ton of VHS and stuff.
Yeah. So let's see. So let's I guess let's talk about the Super Nintendo. So first off, what happened to it? I know it didn't work or whatever, but
it did work. What do you mean?
I remember at one point it stopped working, right?
I think it just got outdated. I mean, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because like I remember one time Theo Mai was gonna like open it up, but he didn't have like the triangular screwdrivers to open it up, so he couldn't repair it. I have a memory of that.
Maybe. I mean, I remember playing the crap out of it, and Super Street Fighter on it. So I mean, I don't know. I don't remember it like just breaking down or anything like that. It could have. We just stopped playing it after a while. You know, I guess we kind of outgrew it because the PlayStation came out like right after that as well.
Much later. But like at the duplex, I remember Mortal Kombat being a thing.
That's correct.
It was
the crap out of that.
It was the devil. You remember that? So how did you deal with that with mom and I guess it's El Diablo?
You could say that. I mean, my mom and my dad could say, "Oh, that's the Diablo, that's the devil," but they bought it for us, and they kept buying us
Did they
games.
really?
Yeah, I mean, they bought us the games, and we watched it.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then we would play Mortal Kombat and like kill each other on there. So I mean,
Yeah.
not much I can say about that except for we had fun with the games that we had.
And it did not mess you up for life.
It didn't.
So it's always like the weird thing was like it's like, oh yeah, they did this for me back in my day and I came out all right, but did you really?
Did you? Did you really?
No, and I remember the neighbor at the duplex. That's how I first. That's the first time I saw Sonic the Hedgehog. Was on the Sega Genesis, and that was a thing. And but yeah, I guess let's move forward in time. So, tell me about middle school. Tell me about 8th grade. I want to know about Daggett. And that picture that I saw of you with that girl in your arms.
Oh my god!
I'll put it on screen somewhere right here. I'm gonna have to digitize it first.
I don't know
if I can find it.
You can find it.
I don't know where it's at.
All right, so 8th grade was so my 7th grade year. I found out I was gonna move. All right, and
did you like walking across the street to go to school?
Well, yeah, I liked it. I mean, it was
Okay.
only like 5 minutes to walk over there.
Yeah.
From the duplexes, and I would say 5 or 10 minutes. I loved being in Northside. I actually loved where I was growing up, and I got all my friends there. And unfortunately, we had to move. We had to go to Southside. And
South
well, actually,
Side?
I keep saying Southside, but it was more like Central Side. Central part of
It's just south
Fort
of Fort Worth. Yeah.
It's just north of the south side of Fort Worth. So Central being central part of Fort Worth. And I remember crying. I remember my mom telling me, saying, "Oh, we're gonna move. The house is ready. That we're gonna move to." And I remember crying and telling her, "Please, please, please, let's not move." Blah blah.
But the house on Lilac, that was like a work in progress for like at least a year, right?
Yeah, about
It
a
was-
year or
okay.
two.
Okay.
And so they got it ready, and then
So you knew your fate was coming.
Exactly. But then they finally announced it, saying, "Hey, the house is ready. We're moving, and you're not gonna go to school next year." I was like, "Oh man." So devastating. I was like, "Oh god." I started crying. I actually remember we were driving somewhere close to home, somewhere around JP Elder, and then they were telling us this, and I was just crying. I was devastated, and I'm like, "No, please, I want to let me finish off, here in JP Elder." But no, it didn't happen, So I was like, that really sucked.
And so Dad still had the Camaro at the time, right?
Yes, he did.
Going into Lilac.
Yes.
And when did he get into his car accident? The one that just sidelined the Camaro forever.
I want to say it was around my 8th grade. It was my 8th grade or... No, I'm sorry. No, it was my 8th grade year. That's correct. It was my 8th grade year.
Okay. So shortly after, somewhere in there.
So I was playing football in Daggett, and it was my friend Sock. He was playing football as well, but he was so tiny. I mean, he was getting creamed. When it was his uncle that actually hit my dad. In the car crash.
Shit. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know anything about that. I remember I don't know how old I was, but I remember being young and not old enough to fully understand or be aware of what the hell was happening.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just feel like it doesn't sound right. But I remember that being a thing.
Oh, you were young, so.
I remember seeing Dad in the neck brace when
Yep.
we go to visit him and stuff, and
Yep.
I remember it, like I didn't understand the gravity of the situation and stuff like that.
It was actually pretty bad. I mean, it was in bad shape.
Yeah, and so like for me, it was just like okay, and like there was like no weight to that that whole thing, that whole ordeal. But I imagine it was like everyone was just in tears on the floor and stuff.
I mean, I was sad, but I wouldn't say I was in tears. I mean, it was serious, but he was alive, he was good, and I knew he was gonna pull through.
Okay, yeah, and then but you know what didn't pull through? The Camaro, because it's still in his garage.
In my garage. Yeah.
So what happened with the Camaro? Tell me about it, because I remember two things happening with the Camaro. Number one, it stayed in our by the basketball hoop in Lilac for a really long time. But then one day, you decided to get at a paint job, or Carlo did. I don't know who did, but somebody. It went from black to blue, like out of nowhere. And then I remember one time we were driving in it when it's blue, and there was a hole in the floor where we covered it up with like a little mat thingy, and we're just upgrading the sound system or something like that. Is that true? Any of it?
I mean, I did all that.
That's all true, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I had it painted
Okay.
blue, and I mean, it was looking real nice, like real nice. And
Shanae, right?
It was like totally messed up. I mean, it was crashed completely, and I had to go and get all the parts for it and get it all ready, and
You fixed the body up.
I fixed the whole entire body. I painted it. All I had to do was the interior,
Mm.
and I get around to that.
Never got around to that.
Nah,
Mm.
But
And does it can't run right now, right? Because it's all just been.
No, it can run.
Really? Because I don't
I
think.
mean, we were running it.
Well, that's true, but
The only thing I need to do is give it
Like-
an oil change and a battery. It'll be
like,
fine.
because usually, like, if a car doesn't get turned on every so often, it just degrades itself. I mean, I've seen that with the
and,
Taurus.
all I gotta do is just like it was sitting in my dad's driveway for like 2 or 3 years, and all we did was give it an oil change and battery. We started it right back up. Same thing now. The only thing we need to do is change the oil and give it a battery.
And new tires. It's all flat. All of them are flat,
Yeah,
right?
they're flat, but I mean, I'm talking about just turning on the engine.
Oh yeah. All four of them are on their rims.
Yeah. You don't have to remind everybody about that.
That's a classic, man. It needs to have a new life. What?
Actually, I'm trying to rebuild it now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you are for the last 10 years. So for Elia's Sweet 16, you should totally give it to her in like fine shape.
Like totally not. I'm not gonna do that. She will not get it. None of my girls will get it.
Oh, damn.
They'll
Harsh.
probably get it if
Over your dead body.
they ask me for it.
But over your dead body.
And then I'll die. And if I die and I leave it to them, I'll bequeath it to them.
Or
But other
me.
than that, you don't want it.
Fuck you.
You don't want it.
That's true. I don't want
You
it.
don't want it.
No, but I'd probably repair it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, not to mention, it's a 70s car, man. It's
true.
It's like a classic, like a Lightning Steve McQueen or whatever the hell that is. Whatever the reference
no.
is.
Not really. That was a 60s car. Just saying.
All right, let's move on up to high school. What are your fondest memories of high school?
Getting laid
Oh yeah,
a lot.
every year, every semester, a different chick.
Started off with the 9th grade,
Is it how many girls throughout high school? Is it one per year? Is it
in high school?
in high school?
It's like 4. It wasn't a lot. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, why do you want to know?
I don't know.
Why do I need to put this out there?
I'm just making conversation at this point.
I'll tell you right now, I found my wife, in high school, my junior year, and I've been happy pretty much ever since.
How did you know she was the one?
I didn't. I did not. In fact, I was trying to break up with her, and she knows it. And but you know what? After a while, I realized I was like, man, I couldn't see my life without her. So I asked her to marry me. So.
How did you propose?
Oh man,
Was it at a McDonald's or
It was
something?
after prom, you know. I had already picked out the ring. I already had it, and I was already planning to go to the military. And you know, I proposed to her, and you know, I was giving her the ring, and I dropped it.
You were shaking and it just like falls
Yeah.
off here.
She gives me a heartache about it. Like, oh,
It's like you
dropped the
ruined
ring.
my
Yeah.
proposal.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. All the time. She tells everybody, like, oh, he dropped the damn ring. It's bad luck. And I was like, yeah.
Is it bad luck?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't know anything. I didn't know that. Oh. Well, damn.
Supposedly it's bad luck, but we're still together. Dropping. So, anyways. Yeah, that's how it is.
So, anything you want to say about high school just in general before we move on?
You know what? I found myself in high school.
You worked at In-N-Out, Lube, or
In-N-Out
O'Reilly's? O'Reilly's?
Oh
No.
my God. You're like way off.
Am I? What
It's
is it?
called Gateway Auto Supply.
Yeah, but they got bought out and stuff, you know. I remember
did.
the location's no longer that anymore.
Right.
It's now green
It's
or
called
something.
O'Reilly's.
O'Reilly's, yeah.
But I never worked for O'Reilly's. I worked for Gateway Auto Supply.
Nino.
Yeah, with Nino. And also...
Well, actually, I want to know more about them, actually. Because
What do
you
you
had
wanna
like a crew. You had like a little motley crew thing going on. I remember you, Nino, Christina, Eric, Vanessa, and there's someone else in there. I don't know. Nanette, that's the one. Yeah.
You talking about like my ex-girlfriends and stuff or what?
I don't remember them being your girlfriends. I just remember them being like a crew that you guys all hung out together all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, what do you want to know exactly?
I don't know. I feel like they're people that I vaguely remember, and I mean not necessarily vaguely because I remember Dolores and going to their house all the time. So I just wanted to know a little bit more about the dynamic with the family because it felt like a very close knit friends of the family kind of thing.
Yeah, I
situation
mean,
going on.
my parents knew Nanette's family, Nanette's mom, and you know, I dated Nanette for a little bit, and you know, I was very happy to be with her at the time, but you know, I moved on and wanted to be with someone else, and
Hashtag political answer.
yeah, damn it, that's true.
No, I'm not asking about the relationship stuff. I just wanted to know about the friendship stuff because I remember
Nino became a good friend of mine at the time. He taught me a lot of stuff about cars. My cousin Eric, he also taught me a lot about cars. It was a very awesome experience to work at Gateway Auto Supply because I actually learned about cars.
how to fix your Camaro.
How to fix my car. Yeah, exactly. How to fix cars. I actually helped fix my wife's car at the time. She didn't know shit about cars, and she let the damn car run us up to the ground until I had to, like, you know, give it a tune-up and stuff. So,
I think I was like 25 years old when I finally learned how to change a tire.
oh my God, you were probably like 27 by the time you learn about life.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm
Yeah.
still learning about life. So yeah, you became a man.
I would say so. I mean, I did get married at a very young age.
Yeah.
I became a man when I got married. I was 19.
Would you recommend that for me?
No, hell no. I mean, it's too late for you. It's too
I'm
late
talking about
for you.
now. I'm like right now.
No, I mean, you have a lot to... I had to grow up fast, you know, and you didn't, and my brother didn't. My other brother didn't.
Carlo did.
He grew up fast, but not as fast as I did, you know. But he was, like, right there next to me. And he got married at a young age, too.
So tell me about that. I mean, tell me about your decision to even join the military in the first place. Like, was it like I remember Sergeant Skinner? He
He had nothing to do with it.
Oh, he had nothing to do. Okay.
No, he was...
So how did you get? First off, did you get poached or something? Or were you
No.
like were they like at a handing out pamphlets or something, and you just
No,
like,
I remember when I was 16 years old, this crazy idea just popped into my head about joining the military, you know? And I remember asking my mom, I said, "Ma, if I wanted to join the military, would you let me do it?" And she said, yeah, but I don't want you to join the military. And I was like, well, I'm thinking about it. She's like, okay, you know, kind of like that. I guess she didn't think I was gonna, you know, I was being like truthful.
okay, serious.
So like serious,
Yeah.
you know. But I remember what my mom had told me. She told me one day. I said, she said, "Hey, you know what? I want you to promise me that you're gonna go to college, and that I'm going to work another job so that I make sure that I pay for your college." And if you know my mom, she was already working like 50 or 60 hours a week, and she was talking about working another job to try to get me through college, and I was like, hell no. You know, and then this idea came to me. It's like, you know what? Why don't I just join the military and pay for my college, and then make sure that my kids, you know, have a good opportunity. You know, my mom and dad did an awesome job. You know, but you know, the whole point of them working hard was for that I wouldn't have to work as hard. I mean, I work hard too, and I want my daughters to have the same opportunity. But they're gonna work their asses off too as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna pay you for your car, for your college, and I ain't gonna do all that shit. I want them to work for, you know, their opportunity as well.
Right. So that's how it became it was you wanted the GI Bill? Basically?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I was very patriotic at the time too. I was probably one of the very few people that actually joined the military because I wanted to do something for my country.
Because like were you first? Because
I was the first.
Everyone else followed suit. Eric,
Edgar, Kiko.
Yeah, Ivan, Carlo. Like you beat them all to the punch.
Yeah. I was the first one.
Okay.
First one in our family to go.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they all followed.
Because you're the leader.
I try to be the leader in many things. Yes.
Trendsetter.
I'm a trendsetter.
Juan Menchaca.
Trailblazer. I mean, whatever you want to say. You know, I'm that person. You know, I wanna lead my heritage to new heights. You know, that's what I strive for. You know, I'm gonna tell you the type of person I was. You know, I'm gonna go back to middle school. No one ever told me to do like football or basketball or baseball or anything. I mean, I did it on my own. You know, I never. My parents never said, "Hey, do football." They never pressured me to do anything. Nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing. You know, and my good friend Jesse Luna, he was a very smart guy. You know, elementary school. I mean, he was so smart. He skipped a grade. You know, and I was like, man, I want to be just like him. You know, I want to be smart like him. So I started like really concentrating on school. And then when I went to that was in elementary school. In middle school, I was in 7th grade, and like I remember being like really puny and like really small, you know. And I was like barely hitting the damn tether ball because we used to play tether ball. And then I was like, man, you know what? I want to really do something. So I joined I joined football, and then soccer, and then like basketball.
Was track in
and
there?
Then track.
Yeah, I was gonna say track.
And, you know, I mean, I was doing all kinds of sports in 7th grade, and then the 8th grade, and then 9th grade. After 9th grade, I went to 10th grade doing a lot of sports, but I had to drop it because it was so much. I couldn't do it anymore. So I stuck to the big three, which was football, basketball, and baseball. And by the time I got to high school, I was already like I was a quarterback, a linebacker. You know, that was in football. And in basketball, I was like one of the point guards guys, and I was a guard. And then in baseball, I was already pitching. I was like a pitcher, you know. And
All American guys.
yeah, I mean, I was doing all kinds of sports.
So like, were you like, after a freshman year, did you go straight to varsity and sophomore?
No, it was my. I did varsity my junior year. I didn't get to my junior year. We had a lot of good sports guys. You know, there was very few that actually went from sophomore like straight to varsity. I don't actually remember. There was a few of them, but not. I mean, there was a couple of them.
Were you guys winning? Were you winning all your games when you were there? How was
when
your
I went
career?
To Pascal, the only year Pascal went to the playoffs was my actual freshman year. And we actually got to go to Texas Stadium where the Cowboys play, and we were in the locker rooms, and we actually got to suit up and everything. And
makes you feel like a boss, right?
Man, I felt crazy cool, man. It was an awesome experience. And then after that, the next 3 years, we didn't make the playoffs for shit. Yeah, so that kind of sucked. That kind of blew. But going back to how I was, you know, no one ever pushed me to do any of these things. I just did them on my own. And every time somebody told me that I couldn't do something or I was scared to do something, I would do the thing that terrified me to do. And I did it. And that's just what I did. And let me tell you something. Even when I asked my mom, would she let me do the military? Because I didn't say Army specifically. I said, hey, I want to join the military. It scared the shit out of me But that's how I knew I wanted to do it because it scared the shit out of me. Yeah. And then now nothing really scares me. I'm always willing to do something. And that's something the military kind of instilled in me.
You've been through like 4 deployments, right?
I've been through a few deployments, yeah. But even in training, they teach you to just face your fears, you know. And that's what you do. So you actually do things without even thinking about them. Sometimes.
So let me make sure I'm understanding and remembering the timelines correctly. You didn't get your patented Juan Menchaca haircut until after the military, right? Because I remember your afro right up until basic training.
You want to talk about my hair?
Yeah. Because is it true? No.
8th grade.
Because
I started fading it. 8th grade.
Because I guess I'm not remembering it right. Because I remember the afro.
So I had an afro up until the last few months of 7th grade, and I finally got like a fade type of haircut, the one that was kind of short. And then after that, I followed it up with more fades, more high and tights or whatever you want to call it. And then from there, that's how everybody saw me, and I didn't go back to the old afro that I used to have in 7th grade.
So the afro wasn't in high school at all.
No.
Okay, so I'm remembering.
Nobody in high school ever saw that.
I'm remembering it wrong.
That would be Lagonda, which is the duplex.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
I guess I remember the one thing I do remember about basic training was when you were graduating and stuff like that, and I saw you without your hair for the first time.
That was military.
Yeah, that was how I was like, shit. It's completely
yeah.
new.
For sure.
New to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost didn't recognize you.
Yeah.
So, and I remember watching your basic training video. Did they give you VHSs at the time in '99, or did they give you DVDs back in the day?
What are you talking about? Because
they give you here's a montage of all your.
It was a VHS.
It was a VHS. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Somehow, some way, we probably have it somewhere over here.
We do actually. I think I have it because I actually saw it recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The VHS. The only thing I remember about the montage was the infamous room where they make you vomit. What is it?
The gas chamber.
The gas chamber. Yes.
I didn't vomit.
Oh yeah. But you came out all watery and stuff like.
Actually, I came out pretty good compared to other people. I just came out like this. That's it. To be honest with you, I ate a lot of chile, and what it is, it's chili powder.
Oh.
So I was fine. I wasn't that bad.
Well, shit. I'm fucked. If I have no tolerance for that shit.
You would be fucked.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me just go into that. What is the purpose of a gas chamber, and just in general, like why have that in basic training?
It teaches you patience. It teaches you to be tolerant of. It's a hazing ritual, is what it is, but honestly, you get used to it. I went back to my next units and did it a few more times, and I was fine. I would be in there and like for 5 minutes and chilling, like without a mask. So it just kind of depends on what your tolerance is, but you go through it, you learn from it, you learn how to seal your mask, make sure your mask is sealed correctly, and then after that, you take it off as a hazing ritual that gets you into the military. To be honest with you.
All right. So tell me about your time in the military. Let's go into that.
Oh man, I learned a lot of.
How did you become sergeant so fast? Because I remember you being a sergeant at 19, right?
I was 20.
20?
Yeah.
Oh. Not even, because I remember that being a thing. Like, you're the youngest sergeant.
Well, it took me 2 years and like 2 or 3 months to become a sergeant, and even at the time, it was kind of hard to do. But I'll tell you, I had the right people push me, and I will tell you that football experience taught me how to be a leader. And I became a leader.
You set yourself apart.
Oh, yeah. I set myself apart and became a leader. And the Army teaches you how to do that, how to be a leader. And I found myself and my leadership style in the military. I'm not a dickhead. I'm not an asshole. I'm not a drill sergeant. I don't go and bark at people. I'll tell you, as a sergeant, and I was a sergeant for like maybe 8 years, I probably made like 2 people dropped like ever.
Oh.
Like drop, do push-ups and stuff like that. Like get all drill sergeant mode on them, like one time, and that was in Korea. That was like a long time ago.
And that was I was in middle school when you were in Korea, I believe, because I remember like the biggest memory I have was you called from Korea and you were asking for anyone, like just I think you were trying to call mom or whatever, but I guess time zones. I was the only one in the house. I pick up the phone and I'm like, hello, and then you're like, I think I just dialed the wrong number because you didn't recognize my voice.
So you sounded like a little girl before, and then
you.
all of a sudden, this man answers the phone. And I was like, "Hello," and I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for Carlo and like my mom or my dad. Oh yeah, dude, it's me. What's going on? And I was like, who's me? I'm like, who are you? Oh, this is Louis. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I mean, yeah, I remember you. Like, your voice changed overnight.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, dude. Like, you're. And then, you know what? I remember when I was 12 and my voice changed overnight. Everybody was like, what's wrong with your voice? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Because I sound like a little girl. And all of a sudden, I remember it was the seventh grade for me. From one day to the next, I woke up and my voice had changed. Like, it was like a little girl's voice to a man's voice, you
I
know?
think that was kind of like with me. I don't remember if it was in seventh grade or eighth grade. It's one of those 2 years it happened.
Yeah, and I was just like, hello. And then, like, everybody on the phone told me, man, you sound like your damn dad and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, shit. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I did not notice it. It just happened from one day to the next, literally. You know?
Yeah. I just remember that. That was one of those funny conversations that I'll never forget. Yeah. And then, so let me just ask you about, well, first off, what happened first, Georgia or Korea?
I went to Georgia first, and Korea was towards the end of my active duty career.
Wait, I thought you're still active duty.
I'm in the reserve component. I'm a National Guardsman.
Oh, I mean, I guess that makes sense. So, okay, so you go to Georgia. You living with Adams. You had Junior. You had 2 cars, right?
Yeah.
All right. Then there's the story about the earthquake.
You remember that?
I remember that story.
You remember that?
Well, first off,
I actually told that story recently to a friend of mine. I was like, oh, man. I remember my brother came by, and he gave me the whole earthquake, the whole story, and he was laughing his ass off. And the reason why this story came up is because he took me to his ranch recently, and he had a single wide, trailer home.
What do they call those things?
Single wide. Like
okay.
Single wide trailer homes, trailer houses.
I refer to those as like back in middle school, those classrooms. Those classrooms that they have.
Yeah.
Like those little portable ones. I refer to as that. That's how I think about it.
Portables, yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, these are a little bit bigger than portables. These are like, the portables are like double wides. These are like single wides.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, yeah, I will just keep that one between you and me.
No, we're not going to tell the story.
Let's not tell the story.
Okay, fine. We'll skip over that story.
Okay.
So, is there an epilogue on Adams? Because I always wanted to know what happened to him.
Yeah. He went back to his hometown and he became like a masseuse, like a male masseuse, I guess. He does massages and he has his own little parlor and he has his own place.
He's got them hands.
He got the magic hand.
Did he ever give you massages?
No.
Oh,
that was after. I mean, he went to school for that, I guess.
Oh yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense.
He said, "Hey Juan, come here and let me give you a massage.
Let me practice on you."
He was actually a male model for a long time, and he has a portfolio, and it's actually pretty damn good. I was like, "Oh shit!" And that's what he wanted to do.
Took
but
amazing shots.
He could only do it for so much for so long, and then after that, he got into his profession, and that's what he did.
That's cool. You still keep in contact with him? Are you Facebook friends with him?
Yes.
Nice. All right. Cool. All right. So then, what happened? What happened in Korea? Like in general, like was that deployment? How big a deal was that deployment in general? Because I just like again, I would have been like in lower, not even high school yet. So, I just remember that being like one of those like nonchalant things, and from my perspective, it was just like, oh, you're in Korea.
It was a real deployment.
Okay.
And while I was in Korea, I was really close to starting a war between North Korea and South Korea. But that happens all the time. It was not just me. I mean, at the time, in retrospect, I'm thinking about it, it's like, man, something crazy could have happened. And like, I was
North Korea and South Korea hate each other still.
Right. But, you
Yeah.
get to see some crazy shit. And, we could be like pull the damn trigger on something, and the whole war will start again. But I mean, it happens a lot, and it just sucks.
Because it happened. Well, the last time it happened was in the 50s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's recent. So it's pretty semi-recent history.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. The 50s, it was very bad fighting, and they came into a stalemate, and that's the way it kept it, as a stalemate, and it wasn't ever like a peace treaty.
Oh.
So that's where they're at now. You know.
Fuck. So like,
60 years later.
how does
60 years later.
So how did you go, like, when you were stationed there? What was communication like? Did you have like an official translator that was Korean or something, or was it army person that was already a linguist?
We had Koreans in our units. They're called Katusas. Yeah.
What is that?
And it's a Korean augmentee soldier, and they train with us as if they were in our army. I mean, that's all that's all they did, and they could serve as translators.
Oh,
in
okay.
English and Korean.
Okay.
They were from there, so what they had to do was actually learn how to speak English, and speak to us, and that's how they became Katusas.
And then now one day your daughters will be fluent in Korean.
No, that's not gonna happen. That is not gonna happen.
Why not? You know, I was for their Christmas present. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Leah, for herself, she bought herself a Korean to English dictionary.
That's good. That's good to know. That's cool.
So let me just jump forward in the future, and we'll come back. We'll circle back to your army stuff.
Okay.
But what do you think about your daughter's obsession with Korean culture in
That's
general?
awesome.
Is that all you got to say? Yeah.
They became, they want to, if they ended up with a Korean, fine, that's cool. I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
Do you think it's a phase?
I think it's a phase.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just like Justin Bieber and Pink.
Just like Justin Bieber.
Yeah. And One Direction.
And Juan Direction. Yeah.
All right. So is there? The only other thing I remember about you mentioning Korea was with James Bond movie, The World Is Not Enough. Not World Is Not. Die Another Day. That's the one. And the opening montage, Pierce Brosnan, is James Bond. He's surfing through the thing, and you're like, Korea does not have waves like that. That was one of those things where it's like,
I can't remember. I can't remember that anecdote. No.
yeah, I do.
Maybe.
I remember weird shit.
I mean, Korea, from what I remember, I was on their oceans, and I don't remember seeing huge ass waves or anything like that. Maybe, but when I was there, it didn't happen.
So, like, from my understanding, the U.S., they have military bases every time they go to a place, right? They keep military bases. They
We
hold
had
it
a
down.
shit ton of
Shit ton
military
of
bases
Shit ton of bases worldwide.
all over the Korean peninsula and all over the world.
Yes, the U.S. is worldwide. Yes. Yeah. So, because the way I was reasoning it in my head at the time was like, it was just one of those things where you're just stationed there to stay in the base and just chill there and just to hold down the fort. Was that?
No, we actually went out a lot and did stuff.
So it was more than just, okay. All right. That's good to know. Any last things about Korea?
No, I mean, it was a great experience, and that's all I really have to say about that. I mean,
you saw cool technology and music.
I remember that the Koreans were actually ahead of us in technology. And I was like, Korea? I was like, Korea? I thought it was supposed to be Japan, but no, Korea was actually ahead of us in a lot of stuff.
You told me about what was to come.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I was like, whoa.
You heard songs before we heard them.
We saw movies before they came out in the theater. They got movies a week or 2 weeks before we got them in the theater, so it was pretty cool.
Nice. All right, so, do you want to talk about Iraq, or do we want to skip over that?
No, let's skip over my deployments. I mean, the deployments, yes. Everybody wants to talk about, like, what did I see and all that stuff. I could tell you right now that, I did see death. I almost died a few times, and it just comes with the territory,
You got hit while wearing a bulletproof vest.
I mean, stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff happens.
Shit happens.
And I personally never lost, like, a soldier. And, but, I've seen soldiers get killed, But other than that, I mean, it's just casualties of war. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I got the hiccups now.
Yeah. Drink some water. Then we're gonna change the name of the show from Musing with Menchaca to Therapy with Menchaca.
Yeah. So, I can't talk right now. Hold on. Can you cut?
Yeah, sure. All right, and we're back. So, I'm just gonna. Since you said you didn't want to talk about your deployments, I think pretty much as far as everything that happened with your army, just to wrap it up,
Okay.
went through 2 more deployments. One of them we briefly mentioned over, but you then got promoted to lieutenant, then for second lieutenant, then first, right? That's
Right.
where you're currently standing at.
I'm a
Captain.
Fuck. Captain.
Yeah, that's right. So you go through an engineering school, right, and then that finishes out and pretty much brings you up to date to where we are right now as far as your military career goes.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm in the captain's career course right now, but yeah.
Cool. Any last words about your military life?
No, I mean, great experience. I would definitely tell you that I've used it for my advantage.
Work and promotions and money,
promotions, yeah,
salary,
but it has
discounts.
It has a lot more to do with my experiences as a leader and managing people. I'm not a dick. I'm not like I said. I'm not a drill sergeant. I just know how to manage people and talk to people, and I had a chance to meet a lot of people in the military. I'll tell you that I love a lot of my brothers in arms that we deployed with, and a lot of them actually get to work with me at my current job. And they're awesome. They're the best. So it's more than I can ever ask for, and people that I've ever deployed with.
All right. So now that we're done with the military aspect, let's go and shift gears to parenthood.
Okay.
So you had your first daughter, Aaliyah. Mm-hmm. She, currently 15?
She's 15.
Yes. And so you had her while in Georgia. Mm-hmm. And so tell me about that. Tell me about the first time you found out that Pati was pregnant, and tell me about how becoming a father changed you.
I found out she was pregnant when she came over here to visit. She said, "Hey, I'm a little late. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna take a test." And this was like about 2 years after we got married. And I was like, "Oh, all right, awesome." And I was actually pretty excited because we hadn't got pregnant before. I was like,
Was it a race, by the way?
I mean, it wasn't a race, but
because I just remember that kind of being a race between you and Carlo.
It wasn't a race for me. But I remember thinking that, man, I'm not protecting myself. Like I want to get Pati pregnant, but she wasn't getting pregnant, so I thought there was something wrong with me. Or maybe there was something wrong. But I mean, other than that, no. I mean, we had 2 good years of like not having kids, and I don't mean that like in a bad way, but we had the freedom to do a lot of stuff. We went out to Florida a lot. You know.
The advantages of having one test.
Right. And we had Aaliyah, and then from there, it's all about parenting. So what was the other question?
How did becoming a parent change you?
I mean, it changed me because I wouldn't say it changed me a lot. I mean, I was already a pretty responsible individual, but the sense of responsibility was there. It was definitely there when I had a kid. So I mean, other than that, everything was still the same except for I had a kid to take care of.
Okay. And do you have any hopes or dreams for their futures as an adults?
Yes. They go to college, preferably like TCU or Baylor, and they don't. They stay off the pole, and
they don't have kids young.
They don't have kids young, and if they do have them young, they were married.
Cool.
Do everything the right way.
Let me see if I can pull up some questions about being a parent. Let's see here. Raising children. Can you describe the moment when you saw your children for the first time? So for each of them.
So I was there when 2 of them were born. The first 2 were born. I remember Aaliyah, my firstborn. I was like, oh man, it's my first one. I was holding her, and I was like, I was just like
nervous.
No, I wasn't nervous. I was just so.
No, it's your first. You're gonna how you don't even know what to expect.
I think proud's the word. I was just so proud to have her, and and I was like, man, this is gonna be awesome, And then my second one came, same deal. So proud. I was like, oh, I got my second one, awesome. It's a girl, but that's okay. The third one's gonna be a boy. Yeah, that's fine. And then I missed my third one being born because I was in Iraq by like 2 or 3 days. And,
2 or 3 days.
Yeah. So I was already on the tarmac waiting to fly back so that I can see my Abigail be born.
Oh, because you had leave, right? You okay? It was like a temporary. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I left.
Because I am remembering it wrong altogether. I remember
I left 2 weeks before she was due, thinking that I'll be home to
in
see
time.
her get it. But while I was in the tarmac waiting to get on the plane, they called. My captain came up to me and said, "Hey, we got a message saying your daughter was born." I was like, "Oh man,
You missed it.
I missed it." And so that kind of sucked. But 2 days later, I was back home and I got to hold her, and I was like, "Wow, man, this is awesome." I got 3 girls, and that was all she wrote. Just waiting. I was waiting, and then I had to leave and finish my tour for like 7 or 8 more months, and then come back.
And Leah and Ariana, they, I remember them being super like hovering over you, like just like always following you around and like being super affectionate towards you.
Sure.
They wanted your attention and not hers.
Now it's the opposite.
Wait, what?
They don't get near me.
Oh, now it's the opposite. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, when you're around a lot. All right, fine. Fine. Let me ask you one. I want to ask you 2 silly questions just to finish it out.
Okay.
What's your perfect pizza?
Oh.
Pineapples in it, right?
I only have one. And I get this all the time. It's like a meat lover's pizza.
Okay.
I want a pizza with like a lot of meat on it, and it's just the way I am. I just love pizza with shit tons of meat on it.
Meat.
It has to have meat. And you said 2, right?
Yeah.
But that's the only one I want.
No,
Just meat.
you and I are pretty similar. The only thing I'd add differently to your pizza. Perfect pizza is meat lover's pizza, but the crust is stuffed crust.
Sure.
You're like, whatever. I'm gonna ask you 2 more questions here. Ugly and live forever, or attractive and die in a year?
Ugly.
Okay.
I'll go the ugly route because I've already used to that. So, I don't have to like. If I'm attractive, I'm gonna die young. If I get ugly, I can get by, and I can win them over with my personality.
And last question from me to you.
Sure.
What's the first thing you think about What's the first thing you think when you wake up?
Damn, I gotta go back to work. Honestly,
that's your first thought.
That's what it is now, man. Before, I was more grateful about having another day, but now this is like, man, get up and get to work again, man. Shit.
Well, you got to wake up early in the morning, super early.
Exactly.
Before your literal job is about the sun, so you have to beat the sun to it.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Do you have a question for me?
Sure. If you could create one rule where everybody had to follow, everybody, the whole world, what rule would it be?
Don't be stupid.
Wow. All right.
Simple.
Cool. Mine would be respect everybody.
That's actually about equal. I would say that's about equal. Come on. If people don't be stupid, this world would be a lot more.
Yeah.
Things would run a lot more smoother.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a new episode of the Musing with Menchaca Show with the new format. So let us know if you like it. Let us know down in the comments below if you liked it. Any suggestions for guests or any questions that I should be asking when I do these interviews. Juan, thank you very much for doing this.
Love you.
You're the very first person on this new format, and so you set the bar
low. It was a pretty boring bar.
No.
Pretty sure there's other bars you can go.
I think that was a very interesting listen.
This is the way it is, you know. I will tell everybody, you know, hey, just respect. Just remember. You want to respect everybody, but remember the golden rule. You know, treat others the way you want to be treated, and if you want the world to change, be the change that you want to see the world.
Gandhi.
You know what I mean? So it's Gandhi say that?
I think that was Gandhi.
I just made that up.
That is.
It's like,
you're stupid, man.
I thought I just made that up. My bad. Anyways, no, really. There's so much stuff that, you know, I definitely would, you know, tell other people to like learn, and I will tell you that leadership is one of them. But being a leader doesn't mean just being a leader of people. It just means being a leader of your life and leading yourself to make the right decisions. So, you know, there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of mantras, you know, in there. But anyways, but thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah. So I am your host, Luis, signing out.